After the first meeting of Srila Prabhupada in 1970, then Srila Prabhupada started giving many instructions. And since I was still a PhD student at the University of California at Irvine, whenever Prabhupada came to New Dwarka, Los Angeles, I used to come and have darshan of Srila Prabhupada regularly. And the main program was to join Srila Prabhupada in the morning walk. And that morning walk was a very animated discussion, and basically about the role of scientists in the modern world and how to give them some principles of Krishna consciousness.
We could hear the Bhagavatam class in our individual apartments through an intercom, and so we knew when it was time to rush into the temple to bring our kids up for cookies. Prabhupada once said that if you want to make a friend, you give him a cookie. There was a whole assembly of kids in the Los Angeles temple in the old temple room. And my son, Bhaktarupa, wanted some kartals that Chandrasekhar was playing. And he was a whole lot bigger than my son. So he tried to grab for the kartals, and when he couldn't get them away, he started to cry. Prabhupada leaned over with his kartals and handed me the kartals, and then he kind of nodded for me to give them to Bhaktarupa, which I did. And Bhaktarupa stopped crying, and he just stared at Prabhupada, and he kind of froze. Prabhupada smiled, and he began to play them, and everybody was happy. It was the greatest satisfaction as a mother to have your child, your son, be blessed by the spiritual master. It was unparalleled.
Most of the kids are really small, so my son began to pick up the kids, the little ones, because you can see they're having a hard time. Some of them can't quite get the cookie and whatnot. This is the morning where Prabhupada did not give Raghunath a cookie. Usually after Raghunath would hold the little child out to get the cookie, then Prabhupada would give him one. I understood that, this is the spiritual master and just whatever he does is perfect, but I was really upset. How come my son didn't get a cookie? Everybody else did. Raghunath, he just kind of like accepted, oh, I didn't get one? Okay, I didn't get a cookie. Yeah, see Raghunath bringing another little kid out. So the next morning, when Srila Prabhupada would come down from his quarters on the side stairs, and Karandar would drive the Rolls Royce up to take Srila Prabhupada on his morning walk. And Raghunath and I were out there. Oh, look, Raghunath took a cookie. He didn't get one. So the big sannyasis were there, and they were going to go on the morning walk to Venice Beach with Prabhupada. And he motioned to Raghu to come, and had Raghunath come inside the car and sit next to him. And for the next 2 or 3 mornings, he took Raghu on the morning walk with him. And so I thought, Raghu didn't get a cookie, but Raghu got to go on the morning walk. So the pure devotee always does wonderful things.
I mean, there was a little bit of a push and a shove, to get near his company, but I was determined to stand in that spot, and I didn't want to fall asleep during his classes, so that's one of the reasons I stood. And I used to meditate on how in his hands playing the kartals, and I would sing right into his right ear. And on one occasion, I was chanting, and I was thinking to myself that really I don't know the significance of what I'm chanting, but I know that it gives a lot of pleasure to Prabhupada. So let me, with that spirit, chant selflessly, just for his pleasure, no other motive. And traditionally, after the class, there would be a short kirtan. And so there would generally be some vying for the microphone and who was going to lead. And I remember on one such occasion, Sudama prevailed, Sudama Maharaj, to lead the kirtan. But just as he began to lead, Prabhupada stopped him and turned to me, let this boy lead. And so I was very much moved by that, how he had felt my sentiment and my thoughts in my heart.